Welcome to Flashpoint.
That's Gene the Jesus Machine. Got the red phone ready just in case Trump calls.
Gene Bailey, we're glad you're here. Record, share, tell your friends, share, DVR, whatever. We got to get people.
Wow, they're hurting for viewers too. Thanks for helping me with my ad, Gene the Jesus Machine. Yeah, give a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/HouseBarks. We're trying to get to 1,000. It's not that big a deal. It's price a cup of coffee a month. I mean, honestly, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free.
Awaken to what's going
Diana.
on. Listen, tonight you got the Fab Four here as well. Later tonight, we have our friend Mike Lindell is going to join us. So let's get started.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, you shouldn't have told me that. There's Lanny Walnuts. Sorry, Hank Coon. And, she's reading a Bible. Oh, here he is. Oh, good. Come on. I didn't even know he was in there. Mike Lindell with the picture of Jesus. There you go.
Hearing about something that's coming up November 23rd. So, Mike, welcome.
Oh, it's just, I see. So this is an ad for his Thanksgiving.
Back to the program.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on. What's coming up on the 23rd?
Well, we just had tonight, we had the big, my interview I did with our real president, Donald Trump, that just got over a little bit ago. And
boy, it's so exciting. It was so great. Yeah. We learned so much, eh? That was so fantastic.
Exciting because I was able to get the word out to everyone. I've been traveling around to many states since the Cyber Symposium, getting states on board. The attorneys general now are bringing to the Supreme Court their case, not Mike Lindell's. They're serving papers.
Oh, no. Oh, we know, Mike. We know you don't have a case. Well, I know you carry a case that probably has some pick-me-ups in it.
Suing the United States government under Article 4 of the Constitution and a couple other ones too. I'm not a lawyer. On November.
Yeah, but don't let that stop you. Come on, just talk straight out of your ass.
23rd, everybody. Less than a week away. And it's going to be amazing. And now everyone says, well, Mike, are they going to accept the case? I don't know. But I do know one.
I know. Mike, I can tell you. Should I tell him? Should I tell him? Mike, should I tell him? No. Fuck no. No, they aren't. They are not. No. Not at all. No. Just no, actually. Hi, Templeton.
Everybody needs to get the word out that it's happening. They need to get the word out when they are served, because just like everything else out there that's happened to us, they're all going to go fox on us. They're going to go silent. They're not going to report this. Since I brought this up, Gene, about 10 days ago, the media has went completely silent on me.
Yeah, largely because the more ridiculous you become and the less plausible your argument gets, the more they know it's a waste of fucking time. There's no fucking way they're going to listen to it. It's not happening.
Completely silent, except for this morning. The Dallas Morning News started to attack me because I was doing some speeches down in Texas. I did 3 speeches the last few days, and they go, "Are you down here with our Attorney General?" And I said, "No, I'm doing some speeches." And I said, I see you're a terrible journalist from one of the worst papers in the United States next to."
Well, that's very nice. That's a fine how do you do. That's a nice Christian hello. I see you're terrible and work for someone who's terrible and you're the worst in the world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Minneapolis Star and Tribune. And I said, and she says, well, and I told her I was going to 3 more states in the next 2 days, and I've already been to 14 or 15. And she said, well, how many you got? Who do you have? And I said, you know what? I said, it's been a little bit harder to get the Democrat ones, but I said, I'm very proud of Michigan and Colorado. And she didn't know what to say. She's going, well, how are you proud of Texas? I said, ma'am, this is all anonymous. I said, you wait till the 23rd. And I said, then you can write all the garbage you want, because now it'll be in the Supreme Court's hand.
Okay, so.
Yeah, it will not be in the Supreme Court's hands. It will be in the Supreme Court's washroom in because in case they run out of 2-ply.
Supreme Court coming up on the 23rd. We're going to be looking forward to that. Let's kind of check in, if you don't mind, Mike, about what went on in Georgia. Let's put this tweet up here from Heather Mullins.
Breaking: voter GA announced 74 of GA's 159 cannot produce original ballot images for violating state and federal laws. An email from the state election director and instructed election officials to overwrite the memory cards. Yeah, they store it somewhere else, dum-dum. They don't keep them on the machines.
Georgia announced 74 of Georgia's 159 counties cannot produce the original ballot images for the November 2020 election, violating state and federal laws. An email from the state.
That must be a thing about Republican-run states, I guess.
Election director instructed election officials to overwrite the memory cards.
Well, yeah, they don't keep them on the actual voting machines. They store it elsewhere. The fucking election's been over for a goddamn year.
Mike, this is ridiculous. I mean, they're overwriting cards and they're getting away with it. What's going on there?
I'm Gene in the Jesus machine. I'm gonna go with Gene. Hold on one second. Let's see. G voter 74 memory cards, images. I don't know. We'll find something else. Let's see. Voter registration by. VG. I don't want VGA. I want Georgia. Hold on. Georgia 75. But 75 can't produce. Yeah, here it is. Voterga.org. This is what they're talking about. 56 counties admit images not available despite federal state retention laws. Oh no. VoterGA announced that their ballot image analysis team determined that 74 counties have been made unproduced original ballot images for the 2020 election. Team obtained admission from 56 counties. Most of the image created automatically by the Dominion voting system results have been destroyed. Oh dear. Ballot images are a critical aspect of election records that have long been the Dominion voting system creates images for in-person voting ballots on compact flash memory, automatically creates because like election managers. Some densely populated counties use high-speed scanners automatically transfer images. At least 28 counties admit having no original images at all. No original. And why original images? Oh, you mean because they've been saved and archived because the election's been over for a fucking year? Repeated ORRs over a period did not comply with repeated RS for over 2 months. Most simply did not respond, but some frustrated requested by requiring exorbitant fees for images that most counties provided for around $25 to $50. Fees requested by counties range from $0 to $1,700, which is too unnecessarily expensive because they have to go to the state and get another copy of their copy back. 6 of the county VHS show written confirmation for the election gave grant permission to erase in-person ballot from the memory cards. There you go. VoterGA showed written confirmation from former state election director Chris Harvey granting permission to erase in-person ballot images from the memory cards. These violations are yet another glaring reason why Georgia cannot trust the Secretary of State's office. Oh, the Republicans. We desperately need a multi-county audit of the 2020 election to resolve these serious problems before 2022. It's been a fucking year. They archive them on disk. They don't keep them on the fucking machines. That's what they mean original. That's why the original, these are the originals. We don't want to copy. This is that Chinese stuff, man. And by the way, you can get they got the fucking, if you want to pay for an audit, you can go down there and get the actual ballots, but they don't have the original ballot images. So they're just, this is how they made them. They all lined them up, man. Come on now. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, there we go. They got, this is a plan. They made this happen, man. They disappeared them all. They're probably in Chinese. Nobody knows how to use them. Oh, buddy. All right. That's what they're talking about, by the way. And Gene, you'll have to forgive him. He and Mike are stupid.
Well, it's that you have stuff like this in every state. Just today, by the way, in Colorado.
Well, mostly the red states.
They've been deleting all the whole election in Colorado in the machines and called the trusted build.
Sorry, they called the trusted build. Yeah, you throw up little bunny fuck you for us, Mike. Yeah, it's been a fucking year. They just had another local election. They use those machines. They don't store shit on the fucking machines. This is so odd.
And the great county clerk, Tina Peters, who was a Mesa County clerk, the FBI raided her house today.
Yeah, why'd they do that? Oh, because she was showing the passwords to private election machines on the internet. Nah, don't worry about it. It's not like the Russians and the Chinese and the Iranians don't have internet.
And 3 other just citizens with battering rams bashed the door down in one of them. Older women.
Just random citizens. Just every SWAT team just brings in citizens. They bashed the door down. Did they? Did they bash the door down, Mike? Mike, did they bash the door down? So we're now in the Rudy Giuliani school of just lying your fucking ass off? You mean they served a warrant and searched the place?
They're just workers. They just this is where we're at in our country. This is the biggest cover up for the biggest crime ever. And Georgia's no different than every other state where they're trying to do this cover up. Of course they don't.
Well, I mean, it's a Republican state run with a Republican Secretary of State. So, oh, you're right. It's mostly Republican states where a lot of this criminal activity has been going on. Strange.
They get rid of ballot images. They get rid of cyber forensics. They hide the.
They get rid of cyber forensics. Quick, hide the cyber forensics, guys. What do you mean cyber forensics? Your DVDs of Quincy episodes. Oh, shit.
The ballots, like in Maricopa, they're going, well, nothing to see here. Look at it. Biden won. No, he didn't win. Let's look at the paper. 200,000 papers that were just ran off on a print.
They did look at all of them. They matched the count.
It is, Gene, it's the biggest cover-up. And sometimes the cover-up's bigger than the crime itself. It's so blatant.
If you stole the election of the greatest democracy on the planet, the richest country on earth, how would covering that up be worse than that primary crime?
And that's why in the interview I had with our real president tonight, we talked about how do they get away with it? It's because of the media, everybody. The media is
that's what it is. The media made your case suck.
Biggest enemy. You have great stations like your point here, Flashpoint, or like your station. We have SpringSpeech.com. You've got the War Room. You've got just a few outlets where people are getting the word out.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Your point, Flashpoint, Flushpoint. What's it called? I think Flushpoint works. I think that's what we're gonna call it from now on. I think you guys can work with me on, but it's time for Flushpoint.
This is where we have to keep getting the word out. I heard you, asking for, people to sign up because you need that email list. You guys, we all need to communicate. If the Supreme Court case on the 23rd, if nobody hears about it, you think they're going to accept it? They need pressure to see it. If you need, if you know these jobs.
Yeah. They don't take cases based on their legal merits. They only do it under threat of violence. That's why I'm on a Christian show. You guys should send as many death threats as you possibly can. What a bunch of fucking lunatics.
Says, or if your neighbors say, hey, you need to protect our country and look at this. Do you know, Gene, the number one thing people are concerned about now
is, let's see, Kenyan Civil War. No, it's not that. Number of Xboxes. That could be it. Xbox. I'm gonna guess. I'm going with Xboxes. No. Inflation, which will get worse before it gets better. Gas prices. That's what it is. And the strategy to bring it. No, it's not those things. I'm wrong again. What is it?
is the 2020 election. And, this was.
Oh, see, it was right on the tip of my tongue. I was like this close. I was like, kitchen table issues. The holidays are coming up, travel, gas, seeing family, booster shots, like all these things going on. And I didn't realize I should have immediately gone to an election that your dude already lost.
Texas, they did a poll down there. I was down there, did 3 speaking events, and wanted.
Yes. So you said, Mike.
Church and stuff, and you're doing the number one thing was the election. You got to fix 2020. Got to get rid of these machines, computers, everything. Number 2 was the
yes. That's I think what's on everyone's mind. We need to get rid of these machines, these computers, and everything. Was this an Amish church you were speaking at, Mike? Were you by any chance, had you stumbled across the Netflix filming a series version of M. Night Shyamalan's The Village?
And number 3 was the mandates and stuff, but that's their particular problem with the border.
The third one's the mandates. You mean the testing mandate, where if you're at a company that has over 100 employees, if you don't want to get the vaccine, you got to at least get tested once a week. And companies can get PPP loans to pay for those. No, that's not.
But it's everybody's problem. But the common thing of all 50 states, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, is one thing: the 2020 election. Every problem we have right now goes back to November 3rd. Everyone.
Well, every problem you have. Well, I don't even think that's true. Mike, I think your problems go back way further than that. Obviously there was an acceleration of your problems around then. But I'm going to guess, having flipped through your book, that I'm going to guess that you had some major problems before you even knew who Trump was.
Yeah, from the mandate rules to all this garbage and what they're doing to our children, it's disgusting what they're.
Yeah, look, we don't have time to get into the whole Matt Gaetz thing
going on. And then today, having people raid citizens' houses, 20 FBI guys with a battering ram. They didn't arrest them. They just took all their electronics,
Weird. It was almost like it was a search warrant, not an arrest warrant. It's almost as if we have a functioning judicial system. Somebody's been watching Tucker Carlson and thinks the system shouldn't apply to them, haven't they?
And plus, they know it's in them. Hello, guys, can you hear me? I mean, it's just where have we gone? The age we're in now.
I don't know. Mike, if I were you, I would throw my phone out. I would just, I mean, obviously you're being tracked. I mean, have you checked that cross for a transmitter? Have you seen The World Is Not Enough? It's my favorite Pierce Brosnan Bond film, hands down. Also, just for you, in case you're wondering, and some of you were, my favorite Daniel Craig Bond film is Quantum of Solace. Yeah.
We're in uncharted territory.
Yeah, uncharted territory is correct. I want to.
Yes, maybe, I don't know, maybe make a chart. Because you've been floating around these seas in your fucking dinghy for a while now.
Back to Georgia, because you mentioned this. I want to put this graphic up. 74 counties cannot produce original ballot image.
Original? You mean from the machines? They have the copies. They archive them. They always archive them. They do them within months after the certification, during a period of time when you can have a recount. If nobody files for one, they archive them because they're not fucking stupid.
For the November 2020. I mean, look at that graphic. I mean, you see, look at that. That's a huge amount.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, 6 admitted to having no images at all. 22 admitted to having no original, only recount images because they didn't store those. And 20 admitted to only having partial original images, mail in person, shortages in originals. And 18 failed to comply because they haven't cleared their machines, or they've cleared the machines, they haven't cleared their own computers. So they have some of those things. Now, my question is, Mike, you're showing the green and the red there. It'd be nice if you made a distinction about in that picture. Which ones are the ones that don't have their images? The ones with lots of people, or the ones with no people? The ones that are red areas, or the ones that were blue areas?
State of Georgia, and I'm from Georgia. I know the people there. I know you're good people. You don't want that. 6 admitted.
Well, hey, Gene,
yeah.
They're not all good people. You have Brad Rassenberger, who's putting out election integrity commercials, and he's one of the worst in the country. That guy.
Yes, I'm sorry, Mike. I normally wouldn't interrupt you when you're shitting on Republicans. I just want to congratulate you and thank you. It's happened so rarely.
You talk about melting down machines for prison bars. That guy will be number one behind them because it's disgusting what he's.
Yeah, the machines are made out of plastic largely. Seriously. Like 80% plastic, 85%, maybe 90%. They're plastic. I'm just saying, you're not going to get that many bars out of them, and they're going to be. It's going to be like a prison made out of IKEA furniture, dude. It's not going to take much effort at all.
The cover-up that he's done in Georgia. And it's, who do you think's blocking you for everybody from getting all the information in Georgia? Brad Rassenberger, Brian Kemp, the governor, and the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
You mean Republicans? The Republicans. Say Republicans. Say Republicans. Say it.
It's terrible.
It is terrible. It is terrible. And yes, there are some not so good characters down in Georgia. All right. So Lance, let me.
Well, Gene, I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard the devil went down there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long. He didn't stay that long. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. So probably only a couple days. It was a long time ago. Nah, you're right. He probably left.
You before we go back to Mike on this, I mean, the election.
Oh, dear God. You can't do that to us. You can't give us Mario Scario, Lanny Walnuts, and Hank Cooney Coon in the middle of that Gene the Jesus Machine and have to deal with Mike Pillow.
The good thing here is it's been going on.
The good thing here is that you lost. That we all know you lost. And watching you grind about this bullshit on and on is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. I have to say, I'm really enjoying it. And the fact that Mike Lindell has fallen so far off the cliff of viable media that he is now on Flashpoint is a sign that our country may just be writing its direction. We may avoid this iceberg after all. The hull might get scraped. A couple of people might have prematurely jumped overboard and be floating on a board or a door or something like that. But I think we're gonna make it because what a shit show.
And for over a year, we've been
Bum ba dum ba dum bum. Here's the story. Right.
No, Mike's been carrying the torch, I would say, more than any other American out there, going, come on, this is not right, it's not right. And we keep, whether it's the symposium or going to the White House.
Yes, he's been carrying the torch that leads the Donner Party further and further into the mountains.
Or bringing cases to up for suit. I mean, this is not going away. Do you think, Lance, that this is having an effect? Are we wearing them down? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, tell him, Lanny Walnuts. You just came in off the fishing expedition and you tossed your toupee on. You got the purple shirt. Everybody knows you're live on air. We're not sure if Mario's asleep. Hank's gone, God damn it, I'm supposed to be first.
Yeah, Wisconsin's coming out with information also regarding the elimination of 20, 30,000 names. They cleaned up like 200,000 names right after the election. They shouldn't.
Yeah, those people didn't vote. They did not. They didn't vote. I could say didn't. They didn't vote in 2 elections in a row. You can't claim fraud on a vote that never fucking happened.
Been on the books before, almost like covering their traces. Michigan was
almost, except for the fact that those people didn't vote.
Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, every one of these states actually
Puerto Rico, Texas. Say Idaho next.
should have had a full total audit, and the canvassing is the part that most people miss. That's going to see not if the ballot
Hey, buddy, pay for it or fuck off.
was if you could see the ballot, but if there was actually a voter behind the ballot, if there's even an address behind it. So this information is still.
Yeah, especially in the red states. I don't trust any of them. Tell them.
But what's different now is that we as a populist movement didn't know what to do, so that the legislators.
Well, that's the first honest thing you've said, Lanny Walnuts. None. You have no idea what to do. You didn't know what to do. And you still don't. You have died of dysentery. Yes. This is basically watching four old farts fight over the best path in Oregon Trail.
Slow in responding, but they felt the heat. They felt the heat of their own voting constituencies. Now we're mobilizing. By the way, the reason why you didn't see any shenanigans in Virginia or Suffolk and Nassau County, Long Island, or in New Jersey, or in the...
Oh, yeah. You mean in New Jersey, they won fair and square, and normally both of those elections go opposite from the administration, but Biden actually managed to keep 50% of the ones that normally switch over, no?
Ballots like in Spokane and in Cincinnati where the defund the...
All right. Spokane. What is there, a Able as well? Spokane.
Police was an issue. All that happened on that same night that we were looking at the election results, the reason why none of that worked is because 93% of those polling places were occupied by our people.
Right.
That's what we're doing now. We don't trust them.
So Virginia was lost, but New Jersey was kept, and that's kind of expected.
Where was the Republican Party with $83 or $100 million in the war chest? Where was the Senate? Where was McConnell? None of them stood with the president to go challenge this election result because they're part of the stinking system that's got to be changed. That's all Reformation language.
Well, it's Reformation language. Yes, it's a biblical thing. Yes, Lanny Walnuts, please broom Mitch McConnell from the Republican Party. Honestly, yeah, he's pointing and he's very pointy. Do they ask? They go to, that's Hank, and then they go to, okay, let's see what Mike says, and then I gotta go.
Your interview tonight with President Trump, but I want to ask you, since I didn't get to see the whole
former president.
what really stood out to you the most of your time with President Trump?
I know when he asked him how he emotionally holds up all the abuse, and he just bitched for an hour.
Well, there was two common themes. One was that the media is the biggest enemy because it not only.
Yeah, that's new. It usually his gripes against the media. That's rare. What a get.
Cover up, but it was part of the propaganda in the beginning, such as, remember when they said Texas could turn blue. This is all a very planned out thing that was done to our country, crime. And he was very
done to our country crime.
Very firm on, hey, he said right in the interview, he said, look at the damage they've done in 9 months. We can't wait to 2024. We need.
Well, guess what, asshole?
Fix 2020. We need to fix this country right now, or we're not going to.
Yeah, keep doing it. And whatever you're doing, if you're Republican, please send him money.
Country. That's been very common because everyone says, are you running? They always ask him that. He goes, we got to fix something right now. We need to fix 2020. That was that and the media. I mean, those two things that we talked about. And,
yeah, we watched that interview. Was that the common themes? Was we got to fix 2020? And yeah, he brought it up. But mostly it was just him bitching about the fact that he's no longer president and that it was rigged.
It's just knowing that he's with everybody out there, with the people. And if any politician out there that says, let's move on, let's forget about 2020, we'll get him in 2022, it's over, everybody. I want to say one thing that I brought up in Texas when I was doing my speech down there at the church. I said, you know what, everybody, what if here in Texas, I said, what if the polls came in, Biden had 6 million votes and Donald Trump had 100,000. What would go through everybody's mind instantly would be, that's got to be a computer error. It wouldn't be that 6 million people cheated. That's got to be a computer error. And you say this, and then you wonder. Then it's very logical how they did this. That they wanted to do it in all 50 states. And I'm telling everyone right now, no matter what happens.
Well, no. If you said that in Idaho, it would be fucked up because there's not 6 million people in fucking Idaho. There's how many people, like, what's Texas, like 12 million people or something like that? Texas population. 29 million. So it's conceivable you could find an area where he actually got, where Biden got 6 million and Trump got 100,000. It would just be that one county, and then everywhere else, Trump would get more. Get 29. You mean 29 million mail-in votes versus in-person votes? Oh God, I don't know why am I reasoning with this?
The machines and the computers, if our election is done, if they're not gone by next summer before the 2022 election, your country is gone forever.
Okay, good. All right, there you go. So, cool. Idaho, has 1.7 million. They do not have 6 million people. So that's, and by the way, this is the message for the rest of the year into the spring. Mike Lindell will be popping up regularly every quarter to do a 3-day marathon of bullshit where he's going to insist Trump is going to be reinstated. I'm going with Christmas. They have to think it, right? They have to believe like Trump's going to come down the fucking chimney, right? By next summer, if we haven't gotten rid of voting machines leading up to the 22, like remember back on Earth where we know things they just had an election that apparently these assholes don't have a problem with, even though Biden came out better than other presidents have in this circumstance. They don't have a problem with it. But this dickhead is saying basically by next summer, like, don't even bother voting. And the Republicans think they're going to take back the House with 100 seats? Really? I mean, it won't matter because according to Sean Hannity, our entire economy will be gone. Or was it Tucker? I mixed them up. They're both the same color of orange these days. Jesus.
Great news is so many things are going on right now. We're in 40 different states doing what Lance just talked about. What we do, we go in there, we get their real voter rolls. We get them from the state. How many registered afterward? You go out and you look at these anomalies and you canvass. You go out there and you find out, like in Wisconsin, 23,000 people voted with the same phone number. Of course they did. You check that they were just put on the voter rolls. They just grab them and they don't live in Wisconsin anymore or they passed away. That's what this whole thing was about.
Or they're on a military base. Right. This is so tiresome. We've covered all this shit before. It's boring. But we had to drop in on Lanny Walnuts and Gene the Jesus Machine and Hank Cooney and Mario Scario. And we will again. And I know Mike Lindell is not married. I do not think so. Pretty sure. Yeah, no. So I'm going to sign off, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the morning show and the afternoon show. So we'll have a full day of stuff, no doubt. Very exciting. There's only so much of this blather anybody can take before it ruins your appetite. This is, and I am 100% in support of any Republican who wants to send money to this asshole for his legal fund, or send it to Donald Trump for his legal funds, or to fight in any way any of these things, because this is money that they will both snort or spend on some luxury that will not go into the pockets of regular on the ground Republicans. And there's not a zero sum game in this situation. Once that money is spent, it's fucking gone. So DonaldJTrump.com, go there and trolls, recurring payment. Same thing with Mike's. I think on Lindell TV, you can go over there and you can actually send them money directly as well. So Chip is napping. I will have him in the morning though, because he came and he has a tendency to jump up in my lap these days. But I'll let you guys go. I appreciate you guys hanging around. I had to at least dip into some of this stuff. We'll do, because all these shows are like an hour. You know, if they put a clip up or something, we'll do whatever their version of the truth is for themselves. But Jesus Christ, none of these are worth doing the whole thing, because I got news for you. They're not gonna fucking matter. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Steve Bannon doesn't matter. He's talking out of his ass. He doesn't lead a bunch of shock troops. He's not saying that he's not in control of some giant organization. He's always had Trump or somebody else paying for shit or carrying his balls. It's not a real threat. He's got 10 people who are lunatics, and we have to watch out for them. But it is not a giant army that's going to overthrow the fucking government. Mike Lindell, there is no there. I have looked at all of his evidence. Everything he pushes up always eats shit. It's the dumbest argument. It gets weaker every time he tries. Next week will be no different. The only thing that is consistent is his lack of genuine evidence and his inability to feel any shame or remorse about his ridiculousness. And I don't want anybody to stress about that bullshit for even a second. I also want you to, as these legal proceedings play out over the next couple of weeks, commit to pulling your emotions back from them and seeing how can we better this circumstance and make sure that there's a fair and, oh dear God, equitable outcome for people who are involved in all these circumstances going forward. That if you deserve to go to jail, no matter what color you are, you go to jail. And if you don't, you don't. No matter what color you are. And that's a goal I think we can all agree on.